All right, Shalom. First and foremost, want to give all praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashim Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashim Harikah Kodash. Double honors to the apostle, elders, great millstone, and salutes honors to brothers out there preachers, word, say their truth. All right, got this article here from Zero Hedge. It says, black women bear brunt of mass layoffs with the rise of AI, artificial intelligence, and the end of DEI. Okay. And this is basically the chickens coming home to roost. All right. If you read back in the account of Adam and Eve, all right, because you had three categories of people. You had the sons of God, the sons of men, and the sons of the wicked. All right, which represents the serpent. Sons of the wicked represents the serpent. And when you go to the account of Adam and Eve, that is talking about the sons of God. All right. So when the woman went off, all right, she brought that when she communed with the serpent, which is the sons of the wicked. All right, she brought back that demonic philosophies to Adam. All right, and he fell for it. All right, so this is why we're in the position that we're in now. We got all this wickedness in the world now. All right, the sons of the wicked are ruling, which is Esau, Edom. All right, and you sons of God today are the Hebrew Israelites. Okay, so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans. All right, but that Gardenian pact that Eve, the so-called black woman, made with the serpent. All right, their rulership is coming to an end. So therefore, you're gonna have, the Israelite woman. She's gonna catch a lot of plagues. All right, from the Heavenly Father. All right, because the rulership is ending. The feminism, was in the infant stages, started, during the 1960s. All right, then it just snowballed into, so-called black women, and the justice system protects them. They have millions and millions of abortions, child killings, which are abortions, baby killings. A lot of Jake men. Jake is short for Jacob. Jake men in prison, or in the grave because of so-called black women. All right. And the Lord said he's going to, bring heavy judgment on Eve, the so-called black woman, and a Latino woman and the Native American woman. All right, but let me read some of this. I got a scripture. It said, over the course of the last decade, the great social debate has mostly revolved around the issue of merit versus equity, or equality of opportunity versus equality of outcome. For anyone who has common sense, it's clear that equity is a non-starter, a system which skews accomplishments and hands success to unqualified people based solely on their ethnicity, gender, or sexual identity. The experiment has been disastrous for Western civilization so far. Women in general, and black women in particular, were initially sought out by companies to fill DEI quotas that should not have existed in the first place. These quotas were instituted because of governments, and the break down the word government is mean mind control. And Esau Edom, the so-called white man, he's the top government on the planet Earth. And NGOs created the demand for them by offering numerous subsidies, tax breaks, and special credit access. So the black woman, she gets a lot of perks of being a so-called black woman, Said corporations that met the DEI requirements would then have a financial edge on the competition. So everyone had to participate to avoid being surpassed by the other guy. One interesting side effect has been encouraged of cultural delusion among certain demographics, the idea that minorities are somehow being held back by white supremacy, and that, I like to put in quotation marks. It said, and that they are at the same time far more accomplished than their oppressors is self-perpetuating. One of the most common arguments heard in defense of a woke era was the black women are the most educated, successful group in America. Yeah, that's a lie, man. I think who broke that down? I don't know if it's Tommy Sotomayor that broke that down. Or is it Kevin Samuels? Said basically the black woman has the most what's that? The most sign-ups for college, registered or something like that. And they don't go into fields. They go into like nursing and, medical field and service sectors type jobs. But they don't go into like jobs that, maintain the infrastructure of the system, basically. Like civil engineering jobs, civil engineering, then computer technology fields and stuff like that. They're the most enrolled, So yeah, that was a lie, man. That was pushed out, by the powers that be, But it said, let me go down. See when it gets into these women start losing their jobs. There we go. It said over 300,000 black women faced layoffs last year. With the trending continuing in 2026, some estimates at 500,000 total job losses. Now, that's 500,000 so-called black women, man, lost their jobs, man. So, all them 10, 20, 30 years ago, all them songs that came out, in the music industry, all them songs that came out, saying, I'm independent, no scrubs, don't need no man for nothing. Now, what they gonna do, man? Because Esau, he's turning his back on so-called black woman, man. All right. Because Nero in there, man, Donald Trump. He can care less about the so-called black women, man. And it's gonna get worse and worse, man. The Lord gonna use Esau Edom to turn his back on you women, okay? I'm talking about the Israelite woman. It said currently the unemployment rate for black women is 7.1, far above the national average of 4.4. Black female employees represents 12% of federal employees in 2024, double the share of population national labor force, but they were also 33% of federal layoffs in 2025 and 2026. As prices go up, in this high inflation, the woman is out of the job, probably get her unemployment or whatever, but that's not enough to cover the bills. The high inflation is eating them up. So you're going to have a lot of so-called black women, they're going to be homeless. All right? Because really a lot of them don't even get along with their family, man. A lot of so-called black women, they don't really get along with their family like that. So it ain't like they're going to build up be humble enough to, move in with their family and shit, So a lot of them are going to be homeless, And a lot of them are going to be searching for men to protect them, house them, But a lot of so-called black women have masculine spirits, It's a wicked masculine spirit in a so-called black woman. And only the Heavenly Father can be is powerful enough to take that masculine spirit off a so-called black woman. But that spirit on you, so-called black woman, man, ain't no man gonna deal with you. I don't care if you homeless or not, starving, You can't turn off and turn on femininity. You gotta be, it has to be in you, So a lot of these so-called black women, they're gonna be hurt out here, man. Let's go to scriptures. Now this is a prophecy that is gonna befall the Israelite women out here, man. In America, and also, the beast, the beast system. Like you got a lot of so-called black women out there in England too. That's proud as hell. This is Isaiah 32 and 9. Let's see, let me see if we NLT. It said, listen, you women who lie around in ease. Listen to me, you who are so smug. It says smug, a smug attitude. It said, in short time, just a little more than a year, you careless ones will suddenly begin to care. They're losing their jobs. So you got a lot of so-called black women on the internet putting up videos, talking about the dynamic between man and women, the dating culture or whatever, relationship, culture. A lot of black women are beginning to, see the error of their ways in the past 60, 70 years, man. That feminism is wearing off. All right. Because Esau's turning his back on you. He's laying you off of your jobs, man. All right. You can't get that purchasing power no more. Now you're going to be left with trying to find a man to protect you. Now, this is only the beginning, man. It happens in phases. The Lord's doing this thing in phases, man. All right. Lord, take your job away from you. You have a cold war between men and women. Men are not approaching women anymore. A lot of these singles events that's held in these, clubs and bars and stuff like that. A lot of women show up, but there's no men that's showing up. All right, because men, the Lord's putting the spirit on men to wake up, man. We're not gonna uh, we're not gonna supply, take care of you while you acting like a demon. You know, we can't protect you while you acting like a demon if you don't listen to us. If you don't follow our commands, you're gonna be left out on your own. All right. And if you still have stupid ass men marrying bitches, that's always gonna happen until the Yahweh Shai comes back. Matthew 24 in the days of Noah, marrying, giving in marriage, till the flood came. So it's gonna be the same way. You don't have goofy niggas still bowing down to women. But yeah. Finish this. It said let me reverse 10 again. In a short time, just a little more than a year, you careless ones will suddenly begin to care. Another phase is, Jacob's trouble. When these wars start hitting America, man. Civil war, class wars, race wars, food wars, because you're going to have a lot of, you're going to have famine out here, these wars start hitting America, World War III. When these wars start hitting America, man, there's going to be few men left. A lot of men going to get murdered, be killed. And that tells you that the so-called justice system now is going to be changed. All right. So police taking the woman's side, that's they probably even be no police. Shit, all hell breaking loose. Shit, ain't gonna, because police gonna worry about taking care of their own families. So yeah, it's gonna be a period where it's gonna be like the Wild Wild West. It's gonna be wherever it goes, man. Somebody kills somebody, it's not gonna be. You ain't gonna have no detectives trying to solve the murder. That takes too much time. Yeah, too much time and effort. So in that time, it's gonna be a martial law environment. Or martial laws, and the justice system is gonna be changed dramatically, and you women will not be protected. All right. So that's like the last phase, man. It said, for your fruit crops will fail and the harvest will never take place. So Esau, he's been giving you all these incentives, government, perks or whatever, welfare, EBT and all that, jobs, the DEI hires and whatnot. All right, Lord's taking that away. The Lord's commanding the serpent, Esau, Edom, to take all that stuff away from you females. Tremble, you women that are at ease. Yeah. We're going to see a lot of so-called black women, Israelite women. They're going to be bowing down, man. And even still, I still ain't gonna trust them, because, all that shit you done in the past, you gotta pay for it, man. Tremble, like I said, you can't turn on and off femininity, and they get a lot of their traits from Esau, Edom, which is the serpent. So you can't trust your enemy, man. That's Rock 12, Rock 13. So, never trust thy enemy. Yeah, in this setup, in this system, the Israelite woman is the enemy of the Israelite man. All right. Said, tremble, you women of ease. Throw off your complacency, strip off your pretty clothes, and put burlap to show your grief. All right, and the Lord's literally gonna do that. All right. When these women lose their job, they're gonna be homeless. The government ain't gonna take care of them no more. They're literally gonna be in sackcloth. All right. They're going homeless out here, man. All right. It said, beat your breast in sorrow for your bountiful farms and your fruitful grapevines. Yeah. So that's basically saying, the modern day woman, especially the Israelite woman, Eve, your days of rulership coming to an end. Your days of rulership, along with the so-called white man, that's literally been putting hell on the Israelite man for, years, shit, since feminism, really. The last wave of feminism, 60, 70 years, is coming to an end, man. And the Lord gonna completely flip the script right side up. The Israelite man is gonna regain power and put you women back in your subject position where you're supposed to be, under the man, under the Israelite man, in subjection, with all reverence, with all fear. All right. So, let's see what it says. See if I can grab anything. Anything else? Yeah, just talking about AI and all that, taking the jobs. And really, the trades that's gonna survive the AI, the AI takeovers. They said plumbing jobs and different trades. That women don't want to do, because plumbing jobs, you gotta handle feces. You got to get down and dirty, man. A lot of women ain't going to want to do that. Yeah, so that's pretty much it, man. So this is a beautiful thing, man. The Lord is setting the order back up again. All right, let's get the order real quick. I'm going to close out. All right, this is the order that the Lord set up. All right. In the earth, amongst human beings. All right. Said 1 Corinthians 11:1, be ye followers of me, even as I also am the follower of Yahushua. Now I praise you, brethren, that ye remember me in all things and keep the ordinances, which is the order, as I deliver them to you. But I will have you know that the head of every man is Yahushua. All right, Yahushua is our head. The head of the woman is the man. So the head of the Israelite woman is the Israelite man. All right. But since Esau, Edom, well, when Paul wrote this, Esau, Edom was in power during the Roman Empire. All right. Let's fast forward 2,000 years ago. The Roman Empire, is America's the new Roman Empire, So you got the prophets, bringing it home again, bringing these scriptures out, the order, reading you the order, The head of the woman is the man. The head of the Israelite woman is the Israelite man. And the head of Yahweh Shai is Yahweh. Okay? So that's the order, how the Lord set it up. If you deviate from that order, it's going to bring chaos and there's going to be punishments and plagues. And that's what the so-called black woman is getting now. Because she's not under the Israelite man that's being in all subjection. All right? The Israelite man has to be in all subjection under Yahweh Shai. All right? And that's why the Lord has his prophets, his elect, men raising up and being humble under Yahweh Shai and follow his commandments. All right? And so, as the Lord is taking away these jobs, the power from the woman, Israelite woman, she's going to be forced to get in order under the Israelite man via, all the plagues and punishments that's going on. Women lose their job. The government taking all these benefits away from them. Lord going to put sackcloth on you, man. You're going to be mourning. All right. It said, in the head of Yahweh Shai is Yahweh. So there you go. That's the order, man. All right. So it's going to get worse and worse for you women out here, man. Okay. So that's pretty much all I got. Shalom.